Hello dear student, I am Rajwant Singh from Lakshmi Prasad Memorial Public School, Gola Bazar, Gorakhpur. Today I will explain in your history book lesson first, when, where and how. Let's start. Indian history is generally divided into ancient, medieval and modern periods on the basis of changes in social, political and economic organizations and in ideas. The beliefs each of these periods had certain distinctive features determined by the various developments recorded in different walks of life during that period. You can say there are three types of ages. First, modern age, ancient age and medieval age. And the all age has their BC, you can say centuries. Okay. The medieval period, major historical trends. In the medieval period, the major historical trends are, before we start discussing the various events and developments that took place during the medieval period of the Indian history, let us try to develop an insight into the political and social, economical and cultural changes. We can change the environment of the Indian history. That the initial phase of the period under study was marked by the emergence of regional kingdoms throughout the country. Many events are done in our Indian history, and in the medieval history, many rulers have ruled, that you know very well. A powerful group of people rose the prominence during this period, primarily as warriors and the kings northern and central India. These people came to be called the Rajputs. At that time, maximum people who fought in the fightings, you can say they always fight to win their kingdom, to enlarge their kingdom. Okay, and there are two vanshas. Okay, first Rajput Vansh. You can say that first Surya Vansh and the other Chandra Vansh. There were four clans which claimed two families but originated directly from a sacrificial fire conducted by sage Vasishtha. Vasisht, you can say sage Vasisht was the guru, and they are he is the guru sage, and they provides the direction how to do, how to take decision, and how to attack the other kingdom. These suggestions are given by their guru. Establishments of the Delhi Sultanate following the arrival of the Turk from the northwest and setting up the Mughal Empire were two most important political events of the period. At medieval time, you can say medieval period, Delhi Sultanate. In Delhi, many Mughal Sultanate has vasted their kingdom and they ruled in Delhi. Identities and customs and a sharp distinction between rural and urban areas. The flourishing of trade and the introduction of a more systematic assessment of land revenue were the significant economic trends of the medieval period. And in medieval period, a lot of rulers identifies their customs and they have a sharp distinction to rule over the Delhi. And they have come from rural areas, they enlarge their kingdom near near Delhi, that is rural areas. And in the spiritual sphere, this period marked the emergence of new forms of Hinduism and Islam, which were more assimilative in nature. Religious reforms in the form of Bhakti and Sufi movements. There are two movements, first Bhakti and Sufi movements. You know, Hinduism and Islam, both are spread at that time, and Hindu believe in Bhakti and Muslim believes in Sufi. Okay? In the sphere of architecture, distinctive styles and technologies arose. At that time, architectural technologies are developed. You can say a different type of buildings made at that time. And the architectural buildings means the buildings that are designed by the architecture. Architecture means an engineer who makes a map of buildings. Okay? Who instructs a sketch of building. That is called architecture. In the sphere of architecture, distinctive styles and technologies arose, thereby adding to the grandeur and magnificence of medieval India. And these are included in medieval India. Key changes over 1,000 years. Historians use different types of sources to learn about the past. They used different type of sources. They used different types of sources to learn Indian history. Their study and the nature of their investigation, sources such as coins, inscriptions, paintings, architectural, remains the textual records serve as the link to the power. It remains that medieval Indian history has left behind a rich legacy of archaeological. In this time, in this medieval time, many legacies are, and you can say archaeological and literacy sources, which helps us reconstruct the history of that period. Archaeological sources. Archaeological sources is the study of history through the material remains of human life. Archaeological sources may include monuments, paintings, sculptures, inscriptions, and coins. In this time, you know what is archaeological sources. In archaeological sources, many things are included. First, coin, paintings, monuments, and sculptures. What is monuments? Monuments means the big buildings like temples and other buildings, etc. Okay. Coins. You have seen the coins. There are many types of coins. Golden coin, silver coin, and the other and with the other things also made coins. For example, lead also, etc., etc. Monuments and buildings. Historical monuments and buildings such as palaces, temples, forts, mosques, tombs, clocks, towers, etc. To reconstruct the past in many ways. They want to make the new construction. When they ruled over Delhi, or any areas, they want to change the location of the buildings, location of the monuments, and they began to print their hallmarks so that the people know who built this building. They will know that this is by Akbar, this is by Humayun, this is by any other ruler. Okay. To begin with, these buildings reveal the architectural styles and cultural influences of the period. The famous monument of the tomb, the famous monuments of the medieval period, the famous monuments of the periodic included the Humayun's tomb and Qutub Minar, mosques such as Qubbat al-Islam and Jama Masjid, Red Fort in Delhi and Agra. You know very well the Red Fort and the Taj Mahal that is situated in Delhi and Agra. Okay. Taj Mahal, Hoysala Temple, etc. They provide invaluable information. They provide us invaluable information regarding this. The skills of workers, the materials used to construct these monuments, and the mode of transportation in use, beside the cultural and religious beliefs prevalent during the period under study, and all the process of making buildings, constructing buildings, these are included in this period. And inscriptions are also engraved on solid surfaces including rocks, metals, pillars and stones, tablets. It means they used a lot of things to make constructions, for example tiles and the stones that are the very that have the very good qualities, they used also in that. Okay. So dear student, this is enough for you, and I will meet in the next video. Okay.